Well, good evening to the august members of the forum.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Garvit Chaudhary and I am here to present my module 1, my introductory speech, which I have entitled as My Life at Boarding, a Taste to Most Things in Life. Where we go, people want to know who we are, so we say. We are the Grovians, mighty Grovians. Saying this thing with my buddies in unison reminds me of my love, my boarding school, Pine Grove, where I have had the most amazing times of my life. The exposures and experiences we have got is completely impeccable. And trust me, how can we forget the best contribution of a school to a student? The friends, out of which one of my great friends is present here at the forum. Before I venture into my experiences of my boarding school life, I'll take you back to my childhood. Born in the capital, I was a very demanding golumolu in English, fat chubby child who had a very different way to put up his demands. The basic strategy was, whenever I used to put up a demand, it used to be accompanied with the sweetest smile in order to get an approval. But whenever there was no as an answer, I was all set with my plan B. I used to rush out of my room, venture into the drawing room, find the table with the sharpest edges and just bang my head there. Soon, within 3-4 times, my family realized the consequences of no as an answer and decided that either to comply with most of my demands or just compensate them with something more worthwhile. I also have a record of flanking away more than 30 milk bottles when I was young. Being a mama's boy since childhood, her words were like the order from a queen to her most trustworthy soldier. I can still recall my class 1 image as a fat child who had side partitioned hair and proudly was the academic topper of his class. The cool factor about class 1 was all the girls of my class fought with each other to have their seat beside mine. I studied in the heritage school till class 4th when one of my cousin brothers, an alumni of the Sindhya school Gwalior, encouraged my parents to shift me to a boarding school. Getting admitted to Pine Grove was a very unprepared decision for me, and that happened in 2007 in class 5, and I just took it the way it came. The day my parents left me, I did not even bother to look back and say bye, because I was too fascinated with the new environment around. But 4 days were enough to break my fascinations and bring me back to reality that, dude, for next 2 months, there is no going back to home. I was shattered, I cried, I was trying to gain courage from my friends, different teachers, but none of their wordings or their help could change the fact that I could go back home or to speak to my parents. The initial year taught me to accept the life the way it came when I so desperately wanted to get back home, to hug my mother, to have the home food that I missed on in the school. But surprisingly, which I later on realized at this point of time, that was the time when my school started to construct the roads to my success. Getting on to something more livelier, crew cut was compulsory in my school, and having a broad head, it always left me like the most deformed boy in the class carrying a permanent helmet on his head. After that, I was too naggy or picky about food. Whenever all of us used to line up in class 5th and 6th in front of the mess, and we used to stand stand housewise, so I used to pray to God, and the way was very different. I used to recount all the food and dishes that were laid out on the menu of the school and tell God, please help me finish everything. And people used to stare, what the hell is he doing? Why is he calling out bread pakoda and everything in the early morning? And I'm like, I wasn't able to explain anybody what I was praying for and what it was. But all good times. Soon in school, from my class 5th to my class 11th, I picked on every activity that I could. I've played soccer, I've played hockey tournaments, I've been part of various international and national MUNs, been part in oration, debating. We've camped around 8 to 9 camping sites, been on treacherous routes. Then I've rendered social services with my school, participated in design fests, and that is the main thing for a boarding school, because staying under one roof and being able to carry out everything at such a good level, an exceptional level of exposure. You have done so much. It makes me all the way proud to stand as a Pine Grovian here today. Now, at this point of time, I would want to share something very important that I luckily out of my batch could learn, which none of my mates could. In class 12th, in our school, the boarding schools, every school has a prefectorial system, where in most of the Delhi schools, prefects are appointed in class 11th so that the responsibility of the school does not interfere in class 12th when he is preparing. But this concept doesn't go in our schools. Boarding schools have the same responsibilities assigned to the students in class 12th, and that was the year when I was appointed as the head boy of my school. Although I had expectations in according to the achievements that I had done, one of the most surprising moments were that the time when my headmaster called me on stage to pin up the badge of the head boy of the school, the glory and the happiness that all my seniors, because when you are pinned up the badge, the ex-head boy is present on the stage who's there to accompany, and the batch who's passing out, that is her batch, was there, and literally everybody stood on the chairs. This showed me that how much expectations and content they had and what sort of work they expected out of me. Now, why I said that this experience was very different was only because I was at such level where I had to understand the viewpoint of the school management and the juniors as well. I had to deal with so many things and struggles which nobody else could. I have been through certain circumstances where even my presence would change the scenario, would credit me to something wrong even if I wasn't responsible. But that is how it was. Now just coming on to the ending part. As of now, I'm a boy who dreams of being a high-end video game designer, who in his free time strums his guitar, passion for whom can be redefined as designing, and at the end, I wish to be a member of the Happy Club to share happiness in the society. Before I take note of my speech, I would request you all to repeat a set of lines after me. These lines used to be said by our headmaster in every speech he gave us, and it gave me strength. And trust me, if all of you actually understand the sense of the words that I'm going to lay out, it will be answer to many problems in your life. So please repeat. Honor and shame.
Honor and shame.
From no condition arise.
From no condition arise.
Honor and shame.
Honor and shame.
From no condition arise.
From no condition arise.
Play well your part.
Play well your part.
That's where the honor lies.
That's where the honor lies.
Thank you so much.